the Dark Age, and the rise of Chandragupta Maurya. In every era, when injustice rises, so too does a force that dares to challenge it. This is the story of a boy born in the shadows of tyranny, a boy who would one day unite an entire nation under one flag. Welcome to the world of Chandragupta Maurya and the birth of one of India's greatest empires. It was the 4th century BCE, in the fertile plains of Magadha, modern-day Bihar. Wealth flowed like rivers: gold, silk, spices. Magadha had it all. But prosperity does not always mean peace. Under the Nanda Dynasty, power became a weapon against the very people it was meant to protect. King Nanda, the last ruler of the Nanda line, was notorious for his greed. He taxed farmers, merchants, even beggars, anyone who dared earn a living. Imagine sowing your fields all year, only to have armed soldiers take half your harvest. Fear ruled every corner of life. It was like living under a sky that promised rain, but only sent storms. Even the learned men, scholars, advisors, teachers, found no refuge. In a time when knowledge was sacred, wisdom was mocked. And then came a day that would change everything. A man named Chanakya, a brilliant scholar from Takshashila, stepped into Dhanananda's royal court. Chanakya offered counsel, hoping to restore justice. Instead, he was laughed at, insulted, and publicly humiliated. Think about a time when you stood up for something right and were crushed for it. That wound cuts deeper than any sword. Chanakya vowed revenge. Not petty revenge, but the kind that reshapes history. He swore to uproot the Nanda Dynasty, like a weed choking the soil. But Chanakya knew a revolution needs more than anger. It needs a sword. And far from the palaces of Magadha, in the dusty fields of a small village, that sword was being forged. Chandragupta. He was not born in a palace. He had no royal blood, but he carried something far greater: vision. Like a tiny spark in a forest ready to burn, Chandragupta was destined to ignite change. Stories say he showed signs of leadership even as a child, protecting the weak, questioning injustice, dreaming beyond his station. Their meeting was no accident. Fate, or as the ancients called it, karma, brought Chanakya and Chandragupta together. One look was enough. Chanakya saw not just a boy, but a future king, and so began one of the greatest partnerships in history. Knowledge would meet courage, strategy would meet strength. Together, they would shake the foundations of India's mightiest kingdom. But dreams do not become reality overnight. Chanakya took Chandragupta under his wing, training him at Takshashila, one of the world's oldest universities. He learned how to read enemy movements like open books, how to build alliances with words sharper than blades, how to stay patient until the perfect moment to strike. Like a seed planted in winter, waiting for the right season to grow, their revolution was slow, but unstoppable. Across Magadha, people still suffered, but whispers grew louder. Hope, once buried under fear, began to breathe again. The boy from the village and the scholar from Takshashila were preparing a storm, and when it broke, it would drown an empire. One king's cruelty had built walls around an empire. Now, a boy with a dream and a teacher with a plan were ready to tear them down. This was only the beginning.